back. Welcome to another show. This one is another I told you so. That's right. We get into it right away. I told you so because we already did a video a long time ago once we started to see the cracks beneath the surface between these two individuals. And now what has officially happened has happened. Okay. And for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about the news that is making its rounds through mainstream or in independent media, if you want to call it independent, right? It's making its way throughout the whole space right now, and essentially, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro are officially parting ways. Yes. Now, anyone that couldn't see that coming, listen, I got a bridge in France to sell you. You're gonna get a good deal. Don't worry about it, okay? Just give me all your money. It's a great deal. You don't have to see the bridge, but it's a great deal. Trust me, all right? Because listen, people with hindsight could see this stuff happening. Now that it's officially happened, everyone's speculating. Well, what? Oh my goodness. Well, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly have caused this, right? And there are a few different types of speculations going on right now. There are actually a bunch of them, right? One of the main ones is the Israel versus Palestine situation that actually exposed the big rift between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. But yes, a lot of people are saying it's because of that she got fired. It's because her being anti-Semitic, okay? Because that's a thing now. She's an anti-Semite apparently. Now, do I think that she hates Jews? I don't know. I know she hates black folks. I know Candace Owens don't like black people at all. Does she hate the Jews? Probably not. What I'm thinking is she's being a contrarian. Okay, now what a contrarian is just someone who wants to stand on the opposite side of whatever issue, whether it's a contrarian against the Democrats, because if she's not wailing against them, it's being a contrarian against hip hop, and particularly women in hip hop like Cardi B. So she just loves being a contrarian. So it makes perfect sense knowing her workspace right now being ran partly by Ben Shapiro, who is a Jew. Okay, it makes sense that she would be a contrarian when it comes to this issue. I mean, we've all known this about Candace Owens. She's fake. I mean, from her fake conservative transformation story, okay, we knew she was a fraud. Black people, we all knew she was a fraud, okay? We were telling y'all Republicans, we were telling all y'all, hey, Ben Shapiro, when y'all were all excited to have Candace, all because she was sitting there with the whole George Floyd shit, spouting the bullshit she was spouting about that man, and when he passed away, talking about we need to get together, black folks. Okay, well, Ben Shapiro, looks like you're finally getting a taste of what black folks has been telling you. But listen, you part of that whole fucking conservative wing too, where you think that we're not as smart. Okay, you think that black folks, we're just waiting for handouts and all that. That's all y'all do over there, right? So now you're starting to see what the fuck we've been telling you about that woman. Okay, next you got to watch out for all these other people popping up out here, with their conservative transformation stories, and why they're now going gung-ho for your dumbass movements. Okay, and Candace Owens, if y'all don't know, she was the one that started that website that essentially the whole goal was to dox people. Okay. Yeah. She was a leftist then. Okay. So she came out with a website with the whole purpose of doxing bullies. I forgot what the website is called. If y'all know what the website's called, put it in the chat. Okay, but the site's whole goal was to dox bullies, and she raised a pretty good amount of money for it. But then when people started to realize, hey, wait a minute, so you're telling me that in order to stop bullying, you create a site to dox bullies by and get them pretty much targeted by other bullies online. That's very interesting, and people rightfully so said, yeah, you're doxing. This is bad. This is bad all around. This is not the best way to handle it, because now you're pulling all these different elements that could possibly, lead to a whole bunch of consequences. One of them being a big lawsuit. Okay. I mean, somebody had their kid on there just because, their kid was bullying somebody. I'm pretty sure they'd be suing the school district and your company, Candace. Okay. And then after she got criticized for that, okay, what ended up happening is most people that criticized her were on the left too. So they were holding her accountable. Okay. People on the left were holding Candace Owens accountable, but she didn't like the fact she was being held accountable for trying to start a company that basically is a professional doxing service. Okay, and she decided, you know what, you leftists are so immature. I can't believe you guys will let me fight bullying by doxing kids. Okay, I think I'm going to be a Republican now, and that's essentially what happened. She went on Fox News and all these other things, and the easiest way for her to do that is start talking shit about black folks. That was the main thing. And then, obviously a bunch of, crazy white conservatives picked that up and they said, oh, this is the woman for the future. We needed another blackface to tell black people what's wrong with them, because it'd be weird if a white person did it. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. You got Ben Shapiro's and all those other guys doing it right now, but they need a blackface to tell you that, you're wrong, even though they indirectly are doing similar shit. Case in point, Candace Owens is a huge fan of Andrew Tate. And what do we know about Andrew Tate? Well, yeah, he's about to be convicted as a trafficker and a rapist, but she is the one that's running defense for him right now while simultaneously attacking his victims, yet wants to come to us and tell us that she's a bastion of just morality. And this is why America's going down the drain. Not because she's supporting a sex trafficker. No, it's because of women like Cardi B. Okay, we got to stop her. It's like it's like, yo, are you serious? You're going at her for working and doing her thing, but what you out here doing on YouTube? Where your man at? Why is your husband a house husband? Huh, Candice? Why is your husband a house husband? Okay, you got your husband taking care of your kid or a babysitter. Okay, so that's even worse because you're not even living that conservative traditional woman's life. You're a whole wife. You can't even cater to your man. You out here fighting with Ben Shapiro on YouTube. I mean, and you go sit there and lecture women on how to be traditional women. Like you out here talking to OnlyFans. You out here on Fresh and Fit. I mean, it's just the hypocrisy all around. Okay, so we've all been telling Ben Shapiro this. Ben Shapiro doesn't want to listen because he doesn't like black folks. I mean, we know this. Okay, but again, now it has finally happened because Ben Shapiro is seeing what we've seen. She's a contrarian. Now, this doesn't make Ben Shapiro a saint himself, okay? Because we got problems with Ben Shapiro, but I would say it's a little bit more than the Israel-Palestine thing. I don't even think that that's the whole reason they got fired. First of all, I don't even think Ben had the authority like that. Even though he runs the Daily Wire, he doesn't have the authority to fire Candace Owens just like that, right? They have contracts, they have all these things put together. So the pressure must have been building behind the scenes, both mutually, by the way, right? I think this was a mutual thing, right? Because I think recently Candace Owens has been doing a lot of things that probably went against the brand. Okay, one of the case in point was the Andrew Tate thing I've been mentioning. We all know Ben Shapiro and some of the guys at Daily Wire absolutely hates Andrew Tate. Why? Because it doesn't vibe well with all the other conservative values or talking points that they preach out there. So when you have your star pupil or star content creator like Candace Owens going out there and saying, yeah, Andrew Tate's my guy. What happens when he finally gets convicted as a rapist and trafficker? Now you got that attached to the whole Daily Wire thing, right? So it's not just that. So I think Candace Owens on her own, based on the things that she's been saying and the people she's been collabing with, it just kind of made sense that she was pretty much pushing on her end to get the hell out of there. All right. And listen, case in point, you don't do a collab with Fresh and Fit unless this will piss a bunch of people off because Ben Shapiro, I don't think is a big fan of Fresh and Fit either. Okay, so there's just a lot of things that are just button heads with these two individuals right now. We're going to read a bunch of different reasons, even from some of the guys that used to roll with Candace Owens on what's going on. But I can tell you this, chat. I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'll be straightforward with you. This is not looking good for Candace. I mean, she might find some future on X because in my last video on this, when we speculated what was going to happen, we knew that Elon Musk is probably going to pick her up, right? Just like Tucker Carlson. We're going to know that's going to happen. All right. But again, I don't think it's solely the Israel-Palestine thing, although what's been happening ever since Candace Owens has been a contrarian for the movement, right? Is a lot of her stance are slowly becoming anti-Semitic, right? And this is not just unique to Candace Owens. This is what we're starting to see worldwide. Everyone who goes super hard on this, they end up starting to come out with some very anti-Semitic thoughts and talking points, and that even some countries are starting to realize it's a big problem, and they didn't even know at the time that their country was infested with that much anti-Semitism, right? So it's no difference with what's going on with Candace Owens. Some of her points are a little bit what am I saying? A little bit. It's actually a lot anti-Semitic, right? And she pushes back here because this is Candace Owens. Whenever she gets criticized, she hates criticism, which should scare a lot of you guys on the right, right? Because apparently one of your biggest criticisms for people on the left is that leftists can't handle accountability and criticism, right? But Candace Owens herself can't do that. Whenever she gets criticized, say, hey, your talking points are a little anti-Semitic. No! Oh, we can't. Everything's anti-Semitism now. Everything. I can't even get my opinion. No, it's like, no. Candace, it's so bad that even the ADL is saying, hey, Nick Fuentes agrees with you. He's tweeting right now that he agrees with you. Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. If I'm out here if I'm on my platform right now and I'm saying what I'm saying, and I all of a sudden get a tweet saying, hey, Duke, a known racist, neo-Nazi, anti-Semite, Nick Fuentes, agrees with everything you're saying. I'm probably just gonna quit. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna just be real with you. If a racist neo-Nazi is agreeing with all of my talking points, I'm probably gonna take that time to reflect, think about, what am I doing with my life, okay, and probably analyze my content a little bit and probably take a step back, because you're attracting the wrong, or should I say the more extreme crowd. All right, we're seeing this with, it's kind of like the tater tots, right? The extreme versions, right? That's the type of crowd that she's getting, the fresh and fit type of crowd, the people who you can fuck up as many times as you want, but they're still gonna back you no matter what. Okay, that's the crowd that she's pulling in, the Nick Fuentes types of the world. Okay, so I'm sorry, but Candice, if Nick Fuentes is agreeing with you, and you know what's crazy, chat. You know what's crazy? This how I know this woman's on some crazy shit. This how I know Candace Owens on some crazy shit, right? She then says, well, I don't even know who Nick Fuentes is, right? This was in a tweet. She replies in a tweet talking about, I don't even know who this Nick Fuentes is. It's like, bruh, Candace, really? Really? They were best friends with Fresh and Fit. The same people you did a collab with a couple weeks ago. you know what we're talking about, right? Hey, come on, Candace. You know exactly who Nick Fuentes is. So just coming out there and lying on Twitter kind of exposes exactly what's going on, right? So you come out there and your excuses, well, I don't know who Nick Fuentes is. I don't care about his talking points. It doesn't matter if you know who he is or if you don't care. The guy likes everything you're saying. He loves everything you're saying. And we know exactly how that turned out for Pearl. Not too great. Now it's about to happen to you. All right. So again, this is just some things you guys got to pay attention to. We've all known Candace Owens to be a fraud. Okay. But now it's known to even people around her. So a lot of people are starting to distance themselves away from her. Especially people who used to roll around the same crowd, like the Daily Wire crew, right? Those guys, right? And even guys that aren't associated with the Daily Wire, but there are associated with a lot of what is that group of just a bunch of online conservative with the Dave Rubins of the world, and who's the other guy, a couple other guys who are they're all partnered together now, and their whole goal is to give you free speech or whatever the fuck it is, right? So that's what's going on over here. Now, before we get into the video, we also got to talk about the other hand of things, right? Because I got to be real, I don't like the way Ben Shapiro went through about this whole scenario, even starting from the Israel-Palestine situation. It's because here's the thing. It's like, we get it, bro. You're Jewish, right? We understand what's going on. It's a tough situation. But just because you feel passionately about the situation as you do, does not give you the right to, out here. Maybe it does give you the right, but I still don't agree with it, right? You're out here just outing your colleague, someone who's under contract, works with you. You're out here outing her, in front of everybody else. So, because everybody else can see it, you just talking crap and you then making it all public. It's very childish, Ben. So you didn't handle it well. And it just made it seem like you're a hypocrite too, Ben Shapiro. Oh, yeah. Oh, you thought this was just going to be about me clowning Candace? I don't like y'all niggas. So, Ben, you catching these trays too, okay? Listen, you fucked up because you just exposed how much of a hypocrite you are. You started a whole Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, for what? For free speech from mainstream media, right? All of a sudden, you're over here trying to cancel somebody else because you don't like what they said about Israel or Palestine. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Who cares? I don't agree with Candace Owens' points on that. But does she have a right to say it? Absolutely, right? Does she have the right to, be flamed up by her boss and publicly because her boss is a Jew and doesn't like what's being said? Come on, bro. You started a platform for free speech. Now look what's happening. It seems like you sounding like a lot of these pill poppers we talk about on the daily. I told you, chat, these people, They want to scream freedom of speech all day long until it's their turn. Then they don't want you to have freedom of speech. You can talk about anything else, but the moment you start criticizing them, they don't want you to have freedom of speech, okay? This is what I keep telling you. A lot of the stuff these people do, they're hypocrites, complete hypocrites. That's why if you're on the right, if you're on the left, you're both idiots, okay? I'm sorry. I just got to be real with y'all. You are both idiots, okay? Because they're playing y'all. It's all for money and views. That's it. So before we get into this, we got to go over the sponsor of today's show, okay? And that is you guys. More specifically, the YouTube like button. Chat, I appreciate y'all being here on this awesome Sunday. Thank you guys for being here. Y'all could be doing anything you guys were doing right now, but the fact that you're spending tonight with dukendon, that means a lot to me. So shout out to you. Please don't let your time be wasted and go ahead and sponsor the show. Now, some of y'all are thinking, well, Duke, how can I sponsor a show? Well, it's actually pretty easy. All you got to do is just hit the like button, the YouTube like button, the one right below the screen here. All right, that's it. I shit you not. That's it. You just hit that like button, and congratulations, you're one of the sponsors of the show. So I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you guys very much. It means a lot to me. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this article. We're gonna read this article here, basically breaking down what's going on with Candice. All right, and then we're gonna get into a couple videos about her friends. One of them being Officer Tatum. Shout out to Officer Tatum. Okay, for you guys don't know, I'm talking about Brandon Tatum. Okay, you know the other coon out there that you know. Oh my fucking God, Brandon Tatum. For peace sakes, he's the one that's talking here, all right? But we gotta get into Brandon Tatum's video and a couple other people who've been around Candice Owens to get their thoughts and takes on this situation, and then we can go from there. But I honestly think this is hilarious. None of this should have been a surprise to anybody. If you're surprised by this, I want to know the address of the rock you've been living under for the past couple years, because this ain't no new news. This shouldn't be surprising to you. We knew this was gonna happen, and now it finally happened. So chat, this is yo I told you so moment, because we talked about this already. All right, let's get to this article over here. Okay, so this article talks about Candice Owens. Now, it focuses on the Israel-Hamas situation, but what it talks about is the rumors that have been circulating after Candice Owens allowed her points or stance on the situation be known, right? So amid Israel and Candice Owens leaves Daily Wire site amid in Israel and anti-Semitism tensions, okay? Far-right commentator posts the rumors are true. I'm finally free following clashes with site's co-founder Ben Shapiro. So let's get into the article. Daily Wire and Candice Owens have ended the relationship, said Jeremy Boring, co-founder of the site, with the right-wing commentator Ben Shapiro, who has clashed with Owens and is a strong supporter of Israel and its actions. Okay, listen, again, it's just one of those things where you could be a strong supporter of Israel, you could be a strong supporter of their actions, but at the end of the day, if somebody else is on the other side, it's not okay. Fine, let them be entitled to their own freaking opinions, bro. This is what happens when you let emotions get in the way of certain decisions, right? So in her own post, Owens, who hosted a commentary show for the site, said, "The rumors are true. I'm finally free." Owens said she would bring her show to YouTube after Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, killing more than 1,100 people and taking hostages. Israel's air ground onslaught in response has killed more than 30,000 people and pushed Gaza to the brinks of famine. I think they're already starving. Yeah. Owens has criticized U.S. support for Israel, but also mused about political Jews and a very small ring of specific people who are using the fact that they're Jewish to shield themselves from any criticism. That's very interesting. You say that, Candice, because again, your best friend, Mr. Tate, the guy who is being accused of being a trafficker right now in grape. Okay, yeah. I mean, let's just be real. When are you gonna call him out? Okay, you didn't criticize him when he need to be criticized. Now, when are you gonna call him out? I'm sorry, I chat. Y'all might think, "Oh, dude, come on." I mean, it's just a Tate interview. Just let it go. No, I am not letting this shit go. All right, I'm gonna tell you this. She over here thinking she could be the morality police. Meanwhile, chat. Any of y'all who are thinking that right now, would you, knowing fully well that Andrew Tate had all this evidence against them, let's say you were in Candace Owens' shoes, okay? Would you be honest when you had the interview with Andrew Tate and say, listen, and you don't have to be a dick about it. Just be honest. Say, hey, I don't agree with some of the stuff that you're doing here. I agree with the stuff you're saying, but these charges seem pretty serious, Tate. I mean, you got to take that seriously. Or put a 2 if you would behave the same way Candace Owens behaved, pretty much acting like the evidence didn't exist, acting like, oh, you know what? Oh, mainstream media, this is just the Matrix. Huh? This is just the Matrix. And this is what happens when you try to talk the truth, right? When you talk the truth, the Matrix comes after you. Put a 2 if you would have that exact same opinion, right, with Candace Owens. Let me know, right? Because most people, and I'm assuming the reason why you're on this channel is because you want to make sure that it doesn't matter who the person is, you just make sure you hold them accountable, right? Because the other side claims they hold men accountable, but we've seen from their actions, it's not true, including that of Candace Owens. So again, excuse the fuck out of me for trying to hold her accountable and hold her fans accountable, because it seems like her fans aren't even up to that same task. The way I see it, a lot of you who support Candace Owens are trafficking supporters. You guys support rapists. I mean, let's just be real, all right? You are who you hang out with, right? You are who you listen with. And one of the main points I want to make is when they're saying she's going down this anti-Semitic route, okay, I can see it, because think about what the pill poppers talk about all the time. Andrew Tate and these pill poppers, they talk about the Matrix, and their idea of the Matrix is this handful of cabal, right, that just goes out and they're controlling the media, they're controlling all these different things, right? And Nick Fuentes and Sneeko were the ones in my room were the ones to take it there, saying, yeah, it's the Jews. Yeah, of course, it's the Jews, right? Which is the age-old, scapegoat that people have been using. Yeah, that's the Jews. They control everything, the banking, the finances, the music industry, and what. I mean, that part kind of makes sense. But still, right? Yeah, it's the Jews. It's the Jews. We gotta get rid of them, right? And that was Nick Fuentes. So what you start to see with this Matrix talk, which I find so dangerous, is it stops people from critically thinking about issues actually affecting their lives, and then they start to scapegoat other things, and it prevents them from actually finding the root cause of the issue, which is your government. It's the government, right? And some of y'all are thinking federal government. No, half the time it's your local government screwing you. Okay, so you need to figure out what's going on there. But instead of doing that, let's scapegoat to this group over here, whether it's the Jews, Mexicans, the blacks, and the welfares, right? We've seen it. That's why, like, when it comes to this stuff, especially coming from the Republican side, listen, black folks, we know this shit all too well. All right, we're no longer being scapegoated by the Republicans. All right, but now it's the Mexicans, what do you call it? The migrants is what they call them, right? The migrants, and they call the migrants and the what's the other group? There's another group of people, and the Jews, right? And the Jews, because we got the Israel and Palestine situation going on right now. So that's the thing. A lot of these right wingers, they want to go ahead and scapegoat all these other people, right? Rather than keeping the attention on them and saying, hey, you guys, your policies, they're not the greatest either, bro. It's just being real with you, okay? So that's what's going on. A lot of when you follow this Matrix talking point down, its conclusion is to scapegoat to another group of people. All right. And that's what Candace Owens has been walking down to. So are we surprised now that some of her talking points are slowly growing seriously concerning and anti-Semitic? Oh, well, why are you guys surprised? I mean, look who the fuck she's hanging out with. But I digress. Let's continue. On Monday on social media, Owens liked a post in which a user asked Shmuley Boteach, a well-known rabbi, if he was drunk on Christian blood again. Oh shit, that's crazy to say. That's crazy to say. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Y'all, I mean, stop playing with people's religions, dog. I don't care if they're Jewish or Christian. I mean, that's a wild thing to say, bro. Even though I don't believe in nothing, I'm not gonna walk up to a Christian and say, "Hey, did you get drunk off of a Christian blood?" Like, what is that? Is crazy to say, bro. Owens subsequently came under fire from the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, which campaigns against anti-Semitism, posted a report by progressive watchdog Media Matters about remarks in which Nick Fuentes, a Holocaust denier and a Hitler lover, white supremacist, praised Owens for mounting a full-fledged war against the Jews. Yo, chat, I'm going to just be real with you. I want to hear where y'all at right now, because I love hearing from you guys. Your chat, my 1 and 2 army, I love you guys, okay? Let me know right now. Let's say you guys were content creators. Some of you guys are content creators, right? And let's say You're doing your content, you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden you get tagged in a tweet saying, "Hey, your talking points, Nick Fuentes thinks that he thinks they're awesome. Matter of fact, he's praising you right now for mounting a full-fledged war against the Jews. Put a 1 if you think, you know what? The fact that Nick Fuentes agrees with me now, that's a problem. Maybe there's some things that I need to rework. Or put a 2 if you think, hey, you know what? That's right. Nick Fuentes should agree with me. Absolutely. That means I'm on the right track right now, okay? If a racist anti-Semite who definitely loves Hitler and Stalin, okay, thinks that I'm doing great and I'm leading the war against Jews, all right, put a 2 if that would be you, okay? Because I would think for most rational people, if they hear that a loony bin like Nick Fuentes is praising them for some war against the Jews, and listen, maybe to Candice Owens, she doesn't think that she's mounting a war against Jews, right? In her mind, she's not. She's just being a contrarian. But to some of these people, especially the extreme crowds you're attracting, that's what they're seeing it as, bro. They're hailing you as the new person, okay? Listen, all of this just makes Candice Owens 1 degree away from being a Pearl, but black, okay? Because Pearl and Nick Fuentes, 2 peas in a pod. So are we surprised that Candice Owens is going on the same route? I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not, bro. Listen, the hatred she had for black people, it made listen, for y'all who are smart, you should have stopped following her from that, right? You should have stopped. You realize, okay, this woman doesn't actually know what she's talking about. Matter of fact, the way you can even look at her content, okay? Candice Owens sounds like she doesn't go outside. Chat, I shit you not. If you listen to how she stereotypes black people, especially black women, okay, and even some of these other situations, it seems like she gets most of her information on social media. All right. And it's like you don't go outside. And by social media, I'm talking about like the misinformation type, right? The TikToks of the world. So it's like, wait a minute. When you talk, you don't even sound like you know concrete information going down. You're just criticizing other people's takes that aren't even correct. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Go outside, all right? Go pick up a camera and be an actual journalist. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all, including, and this is not just Candace Owens, this is to Ben Shapiro's and all that. Y'all need to go outside and do real journalism. You sitting here just criticizing the left for not getting it right doesn't make you a journalist, because some of y'all don't get it right either. So pick up a goddamn camera instead of sitting in front of one. Go outside and report the news and be the independent media you pretend to be. Just saying. Let's continue. Fuentes, the ADL said, is praising Candace Owens' vitriolic anti-Semitism. It's hardly surprising, but it does set off alarm bells when bigoted people come together to push an anti-Semitic agenda. It adds fuel to the fire of hate. Owens said, I do not know Nick Fuentes. Why are you lying, girl? Like, come on, bro. Like, what? Candace, really? How many of y'all actually believe that? How many of y'all actually believe that? Put a 1 if you think she's lying, that she don't know Nick Fuentes, or put a 2 if you think she's telling the truth. I want to know from y'all. Nah, bro. You know exactly who he is, okay? And that's not a badge of honor if Nick Fuentes is praising you for the shit you're saying online. Just saying, bro. That's not good. Let's continue. It says, I don't know Nick Fuentes. What I do know is that everyone can see what you guys are doing to me. Here we go. I mean, I told you, these people on the right are professional victims, okay? Don't let it fool you to think that, it's the lefties. These goddamn lefties, bro. I can't believe them. They're just so snowflakes. They're all a bunch of snowflakes. They're just always playing the victim. Look at Candice. Take accountability for the shit you say online. But no. But for Candice, in Candice's case, people are just attacking her now, okay? Oh my God. You guys are just, look what you guys are doing to me. I'm a woman. How dare you treat me like this, right? Let's continue. Your pattern is well established and the world is waking up to it. My crime is having stood up for myself against your network of smears. No, that's not it. Nick Fuentes agrees with you. No one is smearing you. You smear it yourself. Listen, no one is saying you can't have pro-Palestinian stance. There are a bunch of people out there right now. Matter of fact, I would say all of media, which I think is crazy, right? A lot of media, they all have pro-Palestinian stance, from mainstream all down. If you don't believe me, go look at how they report these things. It's all pro-Palestinian. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't see any of these media sources being praised by Nick Fuentes. Okay, you don't. So it shows you that they know how to cover the situation and what's going on down in Israel and Palestine without coming off of anti-Semites. Okay, but for some reason, Candace Owens is getting praise. Is the only pro-Palestinian right now getting praise from a known racist and a Hitler lover. Chat, I'm not kidding y'all. This guy loves Hitler, bro. He said it. He said it to Sneeko. He said it to Pearl. I'm pretty sure Candace Owens knows about it. Like, I mean, just think about this. So again, I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. She's lying. Pretending you don't know Nick Fuentes, you're lying, bro. All right, because again, Nick Fuentes, part of the whole right-wing shtick, all right? And I'm pretty sure she even commented on his. There was one scenario that I'm pretty sure she had a commentary about. So her just saying she doesn't know him is cap, okay? Let's just be real, all right? Just like her husband definitely doesn't know Andrew Tate, right? But let's continue. She also was being attacked because she did not believe that American taxpayers should have to pay for Israel's wars or the wars of any other country. That I agree with. That I absolutely agree with. But you're not going to stop it, because if you were smart, Candice, you would know that America's biggest export, in addition to, media and culture, is the military industrial complex. Didn't you realize that? We're nothing but arms over here. We're the biggest arms dealer in the entire globe. Matter of fact, we're the top dogs when it comes to arms dealing. So if you think random mini wars in other countries are all of a sudden going to stop because you have your piece, that you're not being honest. If anything, you should be more honest going after the military industrial complex that is making a fucking killing right now off the deaths of people in Palestine and people in Israel. All right, more so people in Palestine now, right? But still, it's the military industrial complex. Who are these contractors making these weapons and shipping them overseas, right? Who are these people? We need to know, all right? I mean, some of them, aren't they ran by Koch Industries? Or maybe I'm wrong. That's the oil guys, right? Maybe it's Boeing and some of the other guys are manufacturing this bullshit, right? Again, I agree with her point. She's just not targeting the right people. But I digress. Let's continue. I guess that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So let's get into the video with Brandon Tatum, okay? Going over his thoughts on the scenario. I found it hilarious because, one, it's Brandon Tatum, and two, again, this used to be her guy. So his point on this was very interesting to me. Let's continue.
To make a comment about Candace Owens and Daily Wire. Now, all of y'all know that Candace Owens is like my sister. So, of course, I text her. I'm going to let Candace Owens tell y'all what happened. That it ain't my place to try to deduce what happened. Now, what I will say is that it wasn't a firing.
I love the way that you and Ben Shapiro are able to disagree, but then I guess still have a business relationship, because I saw him recently tell you, I think it was maybe a few months ago, he told you to quit over your Israel coverage, your Palestine Israel coverage.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Well, he told me, the tweet that he responded to was actually just some biblical passages.
Mhm.
And he thought that it was me saying that I had to choose money over I don't know how we interpret it, but it was definitely not. I just meant it as like, peace, calling for peace, because, there was a video circulating of him calling me a disgrace and a faux professional or whatever it was. And I decided to choose peace. And then when I chose peace, he responded to the peace with not peace.
So why wouldn't he just fire you?
Well, as I explained on Tucker Carlson's show, like, Ben doesn't have the power to fire me.
They didn't just say, oh, we're going to fire Candace Owens, and she woke up one day like, oh, my God, I lost my job at Daily Wire. That's not what happened. All right. It was a mutual split. Now, mutual splits can go in 5 or 6 different ways. I would almost guarantee that in a situation where you have a high-powered personality like Candace Owens bringing in millions of dollars, and you have a big company like Daily Wire, there's going to be some negotiating. There ain't no, we don't like you, free Palestine, or whatever. I doubt they saying pre-Palestine, but you get what I'm saying, because everybody believes that the conflict is associated with that. So there is probably no, oh, we don't like you, we don't like what you said about Rabbi Shmuley or somebody, and we're gonna just cancel you because
yeah, it's not about that, but I think all of that shit has a lot of stuff to play in the game. Like I'm just being real. Listen, you don't like a tweet like that saying, "Hey, are you drunk off of Christian blood?" I mean, that is wild. That is the most disrespectful thing that you can ever say to somebody, right? Who's a rabbi, by the way, which is crazy to me, right? So that's like walking up to a priest and saying, "Hey, how did the tears of your altar boys taste?" Right? It's just like it's weird. It's just like it's mad disrespectful. You're not gonna do that, right? So I don't think it's because of that, but I do think all of that stuff adds up, okay? And I don't think what a lot of people are not talking about is the content she's been doing as of recently. That almost seems like she wants to go out on her own, right? Like even inviting Andrew Tate and doing an interview with him, knowing fully well that, first of all, Andrew Tate and Ben Shapiro, they both hate each other, and Andrew Tate is a huge liability to the network. I'm sorry, bro, but if this guy, when he gets convicted as a trafficker and he knows he's going to go down for it, all of this shit that she did on the Daily Wire is going to look bad on them. You out here defending him, talking about I don't see any evidence. You, Tucker Carlson, you're all going to look bad because those videos of Andrew Tate, you're giving them just glossy interviews about him, okay? It's not going to age well. It's not going to age well at all. And when people get older, all right, and the realization that Tate's not getting out of prison, it starts to really smack down hard on a lot of these tater tots who haven't woken up yet. They will start to see you guys for the fraudsters you are, okay? So I would say in the future, the Daily Wire can actually play off of this and say, we washed our hands of it because she was doing some pretty crazy things, okay? And also, let's just be real. She was on a show with Fresh and Fit, all right? Who do you know is a cast of Fresh and Fit? All right, Myron Gaines and the other guy, okay? And Myron Gaines, I'm sorry, did we not forget that he put a Klan hoodie on doing Nazi salutes with Nick Fuentes, the guy she claims she doesn't know? So let's say Daily Wire gets to a certain point in the future and they start to realize, this video is going viral of Myron and, Candice Owens interaction, right? And then people start digging up more info on Myron, okay? Because let's just be real. People in the red pill and slightly mainstream, they know about Fresh and Fit, okay? But not enough to know some of this bullshit, okay? When the general population start to look at this, the Nazi salutes and the KKK mask, and they'll look at Candice and say, you out here, you talking to these people? You associated with these people? These guys really, Candice? Are you serious right now? It's not gonna look good, okay? It's not gonna look good. So I see a certain time in the future where the Daily Wire can play all of this off, okay, and say, yep, we washed our hands of her, because it does seem like Candice Owens is intentionally collabing with people that can just destroy the brand of the channel, okay? Collabing with Pearl, I don't know if she did, but her management team was helping Pearl and did help Pearl get to where she is right now. But again, that's one thing if you're doing stuff with Pearl. Pearl's an idiot airhead. That's fine, okay? But when you start venturing into the Nick Fuentes crowd, it's a whole different business, bro.
Because when you sign a contract in the real world, in the business world, and you just let somebody go without cause, or you're gonna face lawsuits and all kind of stuff. So people normally come to an agreement and say, okay, I'll pay you this if you leave, or you can keep this, do this, and maneuver. And I think that's how it happened. But people are saying that Candice Owens got fired from Daily Wire because of the Israel-Palestine thing. Now, I personally, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even ask Candice about that. I'm gonna let her tell her story about it. I don't know if that's the cause, but if someone was to project, it would have seemed as if the conflict between Candice and Ben Shapiro is the spearhead of what has happened. I would argue, because it seems that everybody at Daily Wire loves Candice Owens. I think it's just her and Ben Shapiro seem to have a problem. And I love people at Daily Wire. I love the people at Daily Wire. I've never had a problem with Ben Shapiro. I disagree with kind of the way he handled the situation and him coming out against Candice at that meeting, I kind of felt as if it would have been more appropriate, since they are co-workers and she is assisting in building this crazy empire with him. They would just have a conversation about it and not be something that's said at a private meeting or something. But other than that, I never had a problem with Ben. I never have a problem with Daily Wire. They always do things right. I mean, for the most part, there's great company. They on top of their game.
I'm sorry, but no, they don't. Have you seen Ben Shapiro's movie reviews? All right, they're just awful. They're just awful. Okay, Ben Shapiro sounds like he doesn't watch the movies he reviews, but just reviews them to go ahead and talk about how woke the culture has become. All right, that's it. He just reviews movies to talk about. Oh, see, I told you it's all getting woke now. All right, it's like, bro, that's not even what the movie's about, dog. It's like what are you talking about? What was the recent one? Was it Barbie? Barbie was the recent one. I think it was a recent one where he had an opinion on. It was just completely off base. It's like, bro, go sit down. Go sit down and go talk about something else, bro. So no, I don't think everything at the Daily Wire is on point. I think they had a lot of things they need to work on there, Brandon. Okay, Officer Tatum, huh? You bootlicker. Jeez, get their dicks out of your mouth, bro.
I mean, they're leading the industry. There ain't nobody doing it like Daily Wire. However, I do understand the perspective from Candice to a certain degree, because she should be able to say what she want to say, and if she have an opinion that's unlikable by Jewish people, then so be it. My whole thing is this: I see things a little bit different than Candice to a certain degree on the Israel-Palestine conflict. I will admit that I'm biased.
Bro, what is wrong with your pinky? Bro, your pinky's like deviating from the rest of your fingers, dog. Your pinky don't agree with your talking points. What the fuck? Why is it all the way out here, dog?
I can see things with an open mind, but I am biased. I went to
both pinkies. Bro, come on.
Israel. I'm a staunch Christian, and so I have a little bit more grace for the Israeli people than the Palestinian Muslim people. I just do. It's just the way it is. If I had to pick one or the other, I would lean more towards Jew over the Muslims. I'm just keeping it real. I could lie to you and say I'm in the middle or whatever. No, I think the land belonged to Israel. I think it belonged to the Jews.
Oh my God. Okay. Listen, I thought this is why we call him Officer Tatum. Okay, I thought he was actually going to make a point. Listen, if you're going to make a point saying, okay, they attacked on October 7th and Israel's retaliating, fine, you can go down. But then they're going to go down this whole biblical thing. This ain't solving anything. All right, okay, bro, stop, stop. Was it wrong or was it not wrong? That's literally what it is. Okay, so yeah, you're entitled to your own opinion, but then go into the whole biblical thing. Can we just stay away from that narrative and just deal with the facts on the ground? Okay, let's just deal with that. All right, but and all that, I don't agree. I don't disagree with them. Right? Yeah, you can have your own opinions, but you can't stop somebody else from having theirs. Even if they're working with you, let them have their own talking points. It is what the fuck it is, right? Ain't that the reason why you hired them? But Officer Tatum, stop making it about biblical history. Okay, you can claim that and have that, and so that's fine. And other people are making that argument. I just think that argument leads to a dead end zone, right? Because then the other people can say, "Oh, well, then my book says that I deserve this land too," because it just starts to get stupid and ridiculous. Okay, so we look at what happened here, what happened on this date. Okay, what's going on with the retaliation? Okay, and then let's go from there. Versus saying, okay, well, they had them first because of. Stop. Let's be factual here, okay? What Hamas did was wrong, and I'm actually glad a lot of people are standing up, because there are people in Palestine who are standing up to Hamas. Okay, they're sick of the regime. They're sick of not having food. They're sick of the trucks being targeted, especially now that the people are going hungry. See, what a lot of people got to understand about leadership and government: your people are all going to support you so long as their stomachs are full and some of their needs are met. Once your people start going hungry and you're the governing authority, they're going to look at you as the problem. And I think what we need to do now is take a step back and let the Palestinian people deal with Hamas the way they need to deal with Hamas. And they will. All right? Because when people start to go hungry, they don't give a fuck about government loyalties no more. That's how anarchy starts to happen. Okay? So we gotta stop this whole the people that need to be liberated right now is Palestinians from Hamas. That's is what it is, and it's starting to happen. All right, so we're starting to see that split and thing. That's why I think a lot of countries just stay out of it, but it's impossible, right? Everyone who's protesting right now, it's what you're doing. It doesn't matter unless you're up the upper echelon of power and you have a fuck ton of influence to throw around. No one's gonna listen to you, okay? Because by telling America to stop doing what America is doing, you're directly cutting into America's biggest business, which is arms sales and arms manufacturing. I hope you guys understand that. I think we're being ignorant here. And the right wingers are never going to call this shit out. Why? Because a lot of them are partnered with the military industrial complex. It does make sense. So you're going to see right-wing governments or even right-wing politicians saying, no, we're going to stand with Israel 100%. Why? Because they're getting paid by these guys. You're also going to see left-wing governments because it's not a unanimous, it wasn't a solely right-wing decision to back Israel. It was a right and left-wing politic decision to back Israel, meaning the left-wingers or left-wing politicians are also being paid by said complex, okay? So these guys with big money who want the money flowing through Israel, through Qatar, and eventually through Hamas, they want to keep that gravy train going. And unless you guys start talking about the real issues, it's not going to fucking happen. The closest thing was a bunch of protesters. When they remember y'all that protesters, they went out and protest that one warship that was supposed to be delivering weapons to Israel, but it wasn't a weapons ship at all. I think it was like a grain ship or something like that. So y'all are out here protesting the wrong ship. Like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all are just wasting time. You either get to the root of the problem or stop wasting time, because that's essentially what we're doing here. We're over here arguing over solutions that aren't even real solutions at all.
I don't think it belongs to the Palestinians. And regardless of none of that stuff, none of that matters, man. My whole thing is with this is they flew over into Israel and did a terrorist attack and they killed all these innocent people. Over 1,000 people died. And they mutilated them, they beheaded them, they did all kind of stuff, man. And when you do stuff like that, you're gonna take that L fast. If somebody flew into America, just say the cartel came into Texas and came into Arizona and start killing random people. What you think gonna happen? Delta Force will be having wet dreams.
Are you high, Brandon? That's happening right now. That's happening right now. And you know what we got? We got the governor in Texas trying to issue the National Guard, and they're fighting with the federal government and Biden. Listen, I'm telling you right now, the cartels, they're doing that shit right now. They're coming in here, killing a bunch of Americans, and guess what? We're busting them to New York and Chicago, and they're getting free rent. It's okay, so... Hey, listen, isn't that what it is? They caught a bunch of migrants, some of them who are cartel affiliated. Wasn't the one that attacked the police officer in New York? He had affiliations to the cartel. So they got a bunch of these guys who are coming in already who are doing that, and we're rewarding them. So Officer Tatum, you got to revisit your policies because Delta Force ain't doing shit. As a matter of fact, it's hard to even get the U.S. down to the border, the U.S. military down to the border. We can't even do that. Talking about, hey, if the cartels would have come to America and start killing us, you best believe Delta Force is going down there. Nigga, we still waiting. We still waiting, dog. It seems like we're a little too soft on that front. Just saying, Mr. Tatum. Let's continue.
Thinking about what they're going to do to the cartel. Special forces, they can't wait. They're drooling at the mouth at how they're going to sweep almost the entire country clean. There will be no more cartel. If they were to do something like that in America, beheading people, putting it on camera, kidnapping people, hostages, Mexico would be no more.
We're still, listen, it's happening right now. There are Americans who go on vacations to Mexico, take a wrong turn, and instantly get kidnapped. All right? It's happening right now. What are you talking about?
Well, we would annex the rest of Mexico. I'm just keeping it 100. So when I see what happened with Netanyahu and them, and I'm like, man, I get it, man. There's gonna be some casualties, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, the job has to get done. But then I also understand the point of people get too super, like, you can't say nothing about Jews, and I'm not for that either. I think Jews are subject to criticism just like anybody else. And I think that if a person has an opinion about Jews, that doesn't make them them an evil villain. I think they just differ in the opinion that they have. I don't think that there's somehow a special thing going on that you can have an opinion and disagree with black people, but you can't disagree with Jews. I don't think that that's a thing. I don't think it should be a thing.
No. See, when you guys do it, it's not disagreeing. Y'all are straight up being disrespectful. That's the thing, especially y'all free speech advocating assholes. All right, because y'all will say the most vile and the most grimy shit. Expect the free speech pass for y'all, but then when you get held accountable for the shit that you said, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I mean, we're just disagreeing. That's just crazy. How can y'all just be so mad? It's like, no. When you're telling a rabbi you're drunk off of Christian blood, okay, you're free to say that, but then the ADL is also free to say that's anti-Semitic. Okay, so freedom of speech comes with freedom of consequences. Okay, so just because you're free to say whatever you're gonna say doesn't mean people aren't free to criticize what you're saying. Just like this channel, right? A lot of people will say a lot of dumb shit. We criticize them. It's your free speech to say what you need to say, and it's my free speech to criticize what the fuck you're saying because it's stupid. All right, that's how it works. But you guys, y'all want free speech one side because you guys know for a fact the way you garner your audience is by saying the most vile, ridiculous shit in the most bombastic manner. Okay, I mean, why? I'm just being real. That's what it is. Freedom of speech, me, not for you. Only as long as you agree with what we're saying. It's dumb, and the other side does it too. But a lot of y'all on the right think you can just sweep this away because the left is the one doing wrong. It's like, no, we got to hold you accountable too, bro. Y'all out here still fucking around doing the same thing. Y'all are opposite sides of the exact same coin.
But I think that people are after Candice Owens because I'm not trying to defend anything. I don't know everything she said. The stuff that I hear her say just seems like a difference of opinion. You know, she has more compassion than I do for the Palestinian people. I mean, I to this point, I don't wish that anybody get killed, and I don't think the kids should be. But at the same time, I think Israel has to do what they have to do to protect their country, and that will come at all costs.
This is where I disagree with them. Listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. Candice Owens doesn't give a fuck about Palestinian people. Okay, this is just her being a contrarian. This is her moving to the next thing. Okay, to get more views and sympathies. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is Candice Owens 101. This is what she does. Okay, you think a person like Candice Owens, who basically propped up a sex trafficking rapist like Andrew Tate, and then went ahead and shamed the victims afterwards, okay, is gonna sit there and all of a sudden care about Palestinian kids? No, dumbass. She's a fucking contrarian. So you might think, oh, well, she has way more compassion for the Palestinian kids. No. She just wants views. That's it. It's just views. Come, I guarantee you now, once this whole Israel-Palestinian thing dies down, and then something else happened down the road, and let's say it's from whatever it is, right? Guess what? She'll be on that train too. Because y'all remember when Republicans had a weird little hatred when it came to Muslims, right? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember how them Republicans would treat Muslims, right? Because, you know, they would stereotype a lot of Muslims, and they would, oh, man, this is what's going on over here. Look at the terrorism. Look at that, right? Y'all remember that. That was right-wingers, right? Now, all of a sudden, this right-winger, Candice, oh, yeah, the Palestinians, oh, my God, yes. The kids, oh, my God, yes, we love the kids. It's like, shut up, Candice, stop it. You care as much about Palestinian kids like you care about young men and getting their act together in society. You don't. You absolutely don't. And the same thing goes for when she talks about black people. That's why I can confidently say she doesn't care about Palestinian kids, because when we criticize her for what she says about the black community, particularly black women, what does she say? Oh, you guys are criticizing me because I care so much about black women. What? I'm sorry. It don't sound like it when you're coming off. And you're vicious, woman. You're absolutely vicious. You will go after somebody's personal life. You will go after their husbands. You will go after their wives. All right? We know who you are, Candice. We know exactly the kind of woman you are. So we saw how you treated black folks, and now you expect us to all of a sudden care when you're doing the exact same thing. Now it's just Palestinians. She don't give a shit. Neither do any of these people talking about this. I'm gonna just be real with you. I mean, They just care about the views. It's the happening thing right now. If you don't believe me, it's the same thing with the Ukraine-Russia thing. Now that no one's talking about Ukraine and Russia thing, where are those same people that claimed months back that they cared more about the Ukrainian thing? Why did it all of a sudden, the same people like Candice, I'm talking to you, Candice, you care about the Ukrainian war, right? All of a sudden, zip, it's no longer the fun thing to talk about. Israel, Palestine, that's the new thing to care about now, okay? But the Ukraine thing I've been talking shit about months before, okay? Just being a contrarian because I know Ben Shapiro supported Russia, all right? Now all of a sudden, I don't talk about the Ukrainian kids anymore. I don't talk about the Ukrainian war or Russia anymore. You see how she's dead silent on that? But she cared. She expected us to believe that she genuinely cared about the sufferings of the poor Ukrainian citizens. Y'all are being tricked, dog. Y'all are being tricked by a lot of these people, bro. Wake up. They don't give a fuck.
And these Palestinians are putting their kids in hospitals and putting them in front of places where they going to get hurt. It's the Palestinians that are doing that. The people in Gaza, Hamas, they're doing that to their own people. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about all that. I'm just here to give my perspective. And I do think that there's a little bit of unfair bias against Candice because she's entitled to have an opinion about things. And I don't see why people get so butthurt about some of these things. She's entitled to have an opinion. And if she's wrong about her opinion, so what? People can confront her, have a debate. You know, it'd be like, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I really don't, man. I think that there is a special treatment with Jewish people. But, you know, and then I can see why some Jewish people would probably be a little more sensitive to some of these things because anti-Semitism can.
And now, it seems like here's the thing. The reason why I'm so against what he's saying right now is because Candace Owens did the exact same thing to black people. I'm sorry, but Officer Tatum, you're being a coon right now. Okay, it's not a unique Jewish hatred. When Candace Owens attacks you, she's a vicious woman, dude. She doesn't play any games. She doesn't leave no stone unturned, which is why it was so surprising she let Andrew Tate off scot-free, right? Virtually with no pushback. Okay, is because when she did the same thing she's doing now with black people, okay, y'all were saying, oh, we're just victims. We're just victims complaining about this. Oh, these black folks, all right, oh, they're just professional victims. That's all they are. What? No, it's not that. It's just that some of the shit she's saying clearly shows she doesn't understand the black community at all. Even the community she's talking about, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. She just has this online perception of what she thinks the black community has become because she's seeing social media and all the women who are posting on there doing these raunchy, stupid shit, right? And she's thinking that's black women. Not realizing black women are going to school, they're graduating, they're getting these good jobs, they're out there doing their thing, all right? So, again, you sitting there trying to make it seem like black women are more in line with the Sukianas and the Cardi B's of the world. Really? She doesn't know black communities. So, but when we complained about it, they were saying the same thing. Officer Tatum is saying right now, oh, what is it? You can't criticize black folks. It's like, no. Matter of fact, Candace Owens is black herself. So in that case, she has more of an easier time criticizing black people than people of other races, right? Without getting hell of a lot of pushback. The problem is she's not coming from a perspective of someone that understands the black culture and understands what's going on. For instance, I criticize black community all the time, right? But I come from a perspective of someone who understands the community. So it's not me shaming black folks. It's just saying, hey, this is a problem. Just saying. That's just what it is, right? But Candace Owens is different. She's different. She's just literally just watch her videos. Well, I mean, Officer Tatum does the exact same thing. So I don't know why I'm appealing to him. He's the exact same way. Okay. He will be quick to call a black person victim. Matter of fact, he's the kind of officer, I guarantee you, because y'all would think, oh, just because they're a black police officer, you know, they're gonna treat black people nice or they're gonna be cool, right? No. Absolutely not. Some of the worst treatment I've gotten were from black police officers. I'm gonna just be real, like Officer Tatum, because I don't know what's up with them, bro. For some reason, they feel like they have something to prove. And knowing that Officer Tatum is with the black conservative space, okay, you know for a fact he has something to prove, okay? So he's gonna be all on the everything's anti-Semitic now. No, just when your talking points agrees with Nick Fuentes, then yeah, it kind of borders that line, okay? Just say it.
Be something that's conjured up off of the actions of a few Jews. Same thing with racism, same thing with sexism, same thing with everything in life. It can go that way if it get carried away, right? You see a couple Jews doing something, and the real weirdness with, not weirdness, but the dichotomy with Jews is that there's ethnic and religious Jews. right? It's not one thing. It's not like I'm black. That's my ethnicity, or you can say that's my race. But there's no religion called black. So if a person didn't like me, they don't like me because of my, it's very clear they don't like because of my race. If they say they don't like my race, they can't then.
Oh, no, you idiot. Religion brings culture. Religion is a certain part of culture, all right? So for the Jews, their culture is heavily dominated by their religion. Just like we can say for Muslims and all these other people, there's certain people, all right, certain groups of people where their culture is dominating or their religion is dominating of their culture, right? People, so for instance, in Islam, okay, I forgot what the thing is. What is that? What is that? Rule of law. I forgot the name of it again in Islam that you gotta live by. It's Sharia law, right? You got Sharia law. Sharia law is part of Islam. Okay, it's like, you know, in like the Old Testament when Moses had, you know, the laws and people for Jews to live by, right? And for a while, a lot of Jews for thousands of years after Moses lived by the law of Moses, right? That was not only a religious law, but it became their actual law. So much to the point that they killed a guy named Jesus Christ for blasphemy. Why? Because he went against one of Moses' laws, right? So again, that's one of the things. Even though Jesus was like, wait a minute, I came before Moses, right? And at least that's you know what the Bible is saying, right? I was there, right? You know, I was before all these other people. The Jews didn't care because for that, of all they know, this was a young guy in his 30s pretending to be God. That's what they thought, right? So they killed him over it, right? It's no difference when you see in all these other religions, especially some of the Abrahamic ones, where their religious laws also become their governing laws. So it's actually in Islam, it hasn't changed. It's still pretty similar, right? But that's what it is. So with black folks, going back to Officer Tatum's thing, yeah, okay, you could say being black isn't like it's just a race, but we do have a unique culture. Okay, we have a culture. That's what we call black culture. Black culture is unique in America, and I would say it's a problem right now. Black culture is a problem because it's been hijacked and it's been used to go ahead and lead wayward youth into nefarious enterprises. Okay, we're seeing that all the time. I've been telling y'all, trap rap has been the worst thing in hip hop since crack was introduced to the United States. Okay, you got kids out here rapping about killing their cousins, rapping about they're literally rapping about deleting their ops from the planet while Americans are dancing and going to clubs over it. That's how demented the culture has been. I'm sorry, bro. If you make a rap song about killing your family members, that should just be banned. That should just be removed because that's you're unhinged. You're crazy. But in the black culture, we can do trap. It's called trap rap. Why not? The guy kills his cousin. Let's rap about it and celebrate him, right? That's a problem that we need to address. Okay, so being black isn't just a race. We have a culture associated with it. So you can criticize the culture. That's fine. No one has anything about that. You can criticize the culture because it's also part of who we are, right? Again, I don't think Officer Tatum really understands what's going on here.
It's not this confused conundrum of, is this a religious thing or this is a ethnic thing? Is this a racial thing or religious? Because, you know, Hitler was a race thing. I mean, he wanted to purify the race of his people, and he had to get rid of the Jews to do that. And of course, there were some other stimulating things, but I think that the anti-Semitism there started from a couple Jews doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, and Hitler feeling like he need to eradicate this ideology from his country, and then it just blew out of proportion. I'm not saying he justified or right by nothing he did, but I'm just saying I think that's where it started. I think that a few were doing stuff that was against what they wanted in their country. That wasn't all the Jews, but what happened was
AJ says, so if it's a problem, why can't she talk about it? No, it's the way she talks about it. She listen, Candice Owens, when she talks about black culture, she doesn't talk about like she understands what's going on. All right. She has the exact same conservative white perspective. And especially when she puts the emphasis on black women. Because when she talks about black culture, she's going after black women, which again, they're the black women of culture, like Cardi B and some of these, they're not indicative of black women out there, right? So again, when she goes about it, she gets insanely surgical. You just gotta bring up one of her videos, right? Compare the video to how she criticized black Americans to how I'm criticizing black Americans, and you'll get your answer. It's night and day difference. Jenna G with the super chat. Shout out to Jenna G. Jenna G says, Candice Owens knows that black women aren't all on OnlyFans and City Girls. She was paid to criticize black folks so that racists feel more comfortable being racist against black people. That was a role in the Daily Wire. Facts. They always put a black face in front of you because it's easier. How are you going to criticize because if you're a white person saying exactly the shit that Candice is saying, I guarantee you that whole operation gets shut down. It don't matter if it's on Fox News or whatever it is, they will get shut down real quick because it's crazy the things that you say, right? But again, this is the black on black thing that no one addresses that we talk about here. When it's a black woman, going crazy and saying this shit against other black women, it's fine. Conservatives, they're fine and whatnot. Even though black folks complain about it, it's just that no, you guys are just victims. That's what it is. You're victims. It's like, come on, get out of here. No. She was put there specifically for a reason. She was part of an agenda until she started to target the agenda itself. Okay, until she started to go after what Ben Shapiro cares about, which is the whole Israel-Palestine situation. That's when she got her black card wake-up call. Y'all noticed that, right? She got a black card wake-up call. Like, hey. Oh, hold up. Wait. Hold up, Candice. Know your role, woman. You weren't here to criticize us. You weren't here to stand as a contrarian against us. You're supposed to talk about them. Why you bringing on us? Now you're seeing all these problems, right? Because you're never supposed to go against the agenda. And she did, right? So instead of talking about black people for a bit, she took a break and then started going on the Palestinian and Israel thing. Found a bunch of support from Palestinians and Muslims out there. And all of a sudden, Ben Shapiro was like, wait a minute now, hold up. You're not supposed to be making friends with these people. You're supposed to be on our side, all right? Meaning you're on our side when it comes to black folks and you're on our side when it comes to Israel and Palestine, all right? That's the U.S. conservative side, right? And she's not, or she's just being a contrarian and it's kind of against her. So you're absolutely right, dude. She was put there to be a racist, just like him, Officer Tatum right here. He's part of the cabal. Him right here, this dude right here, he's part of the whole thing. They're all here to make conservatives feel comfortable about roasting black folks and what they do, all right? And the reason why this is bad, because it leads to a lot of stereotypes we see out there nowadays where people get unfairly shot and killed or profiled by police officers. It's because you got people out there putting these types of messaging out there. And no, just like we say when Fresh and Fit talk about women, and we say, no, bro, those are just women in Miami and seeking arrangements that you deal with. But you're making it sound like it's all women out there. That's not true, right? It's the exact same thing here. It's pretty much it. But Janet, you hit it right on the head.
Ironically, the anti-Semitism grew. And now the hatred of these Jews that were doing this became all Jews, and then all Jews need to be eradicated. They're all the same. We kill everybody and get rid of them. Instead of saying it's a faction of people who happen to be Jew, or maybe because they're Jewish that they're doing certain things, and they are the problem. I'm saying if that's what they conjured up, it became everybody and not just a few. Because I'm not under the impression that every single Jew is doing everything right 100%.
But Officer Tatum, this is what we're saying. Instead of like actually keeping it to the people that are causing the problems, they make it seem like this is all black people. And this is what Candice Owens did. All right. See, we have no problem when she talks about the criminals in the black community. Yeah. Talk about them. They need to be exposed. Matter of fact, I think we need to bring back snitching. Yeah, that's right. Stop snitching. Hell no. Start snitching right now. Call them niggas out and put them in jail and make your neighborhood safer. I absolutely agree. But then when she starts saying moving from the criminals, which is a smaller element that is disrupting neighborhoods, and start making it seem like it's all black people doing it, now you lost me. You lost me, Candice. So why are we surprised she's doing the same thing about Jews, right? Yeah, 1 minute it's like, okay, no, not all Jews are bad. The next minute, now all of a sudden, now we're putting all Jews in one category. That's the problem with Candice Owens, and I feel like y'all are starting to figure that shit out. Okay, now it's not one of the things that we're saying. Okay, she's purposely doing this stuff, or she's purposely going after black folks for an agenda. No one is saying that, right? But I mean, I can see why you can come up with conspiracies about that and speculate about that. But ultimately, she's doing this for the money. It's the money, right? It just is what it is. So she's going to whatever network that pays her to say the crap that she says. It's just like that with all these other pundits out there. She's getting paid to criticize or say certain things, right? And the moment her opinions goes against the grain, it's bye-bye in Nebraska. You're done. You're done. All right. That's what she's dealing with right now. But she kind of brought that on herself because she could have been smart and stuck to the plot and say, okay, if I'm going down this conspiracy angle, well, maybe it is a few Jews that are doing this. And then fine, you can go ahead and do that. But then when you start making it seem like all the Jews are part of this cabal, and now you're losing me. All right. But then again, this is the same shit she did with black folks, bro. Okay. That's the same thing. You start out talking about a group of people and the criminal elements, all right, and then she starts to all of a sudden make it seem like it's just the black culture. It's just us. It's like, no, it's not all of us, but yes, there are elements of the culture that are fucked up right now.
I mean, I think there was a conflict there, and maybe some people were doing things that was against what Hitler wanted, but it doesn't justify the craziness that occurred. But I'm just giving my feedback on what occurred. I don't want people to get misconstrued my words and say, well, Brandon supported Hitler. No, I went to the Holocaust Museum. I said, I don't know all the details, and I'm skeptical of some details because I'm skeptical of everybody's details. Even with the civil rights movement, slavery, I mean, they always seem to lie to us about something. There's something in there that they don't want you to know, and that don't make the person right or wrong. It just that there's information that people have a vested interest in leaving out because they want to make their side look better. So I don't know all the details, but I do know that it was horrible what happened, and there's no justification for it. It's just pure hatred and evilness that I think that was Joseph Stalin and Hitler and some of these other people. Just evilness and hatred. It's Mao, and they cut from the same. All these people cut from the same cloth. But anyway, moving past that, I think anti-Semitism can really go in a certain direction when it's a person who is manipulating the music industry and the person is a Jew. It's like, people got to compartmentalize and say,
here's what, when it comes down to the manipulation of the music industry, this is where I have the problem with, right? Because we can blame the executives and can blame all these other people, but ultimately, who are these people taking these contracts, right? Who are these artists taking these contract deals, knowing fully well that they're contracted to put a certain type of music out there, right? A lot of these guys, we sit there and act like they don't have any culpability in that too as well. No, they do. All right, we can sit there and blame Jews all day long, but at the end of the day, it's young black men who are the ones making these songs. They're committing these crimes, and they're going out there making these songs, talking about killing their cousins and all this heinous stuff, right? So again, if somebody was principled, okay, they would say, you know what? Maybe I just go independent, right? I'll just start doing some conscious shit like J. Cole or Kendrick or some shit like that. I mean, they seem pretty successful. Why don't we just do that? Because most young artists, they're not comfortable betting on themselves, so they'll go with an agency, and the agency just wants to put out what's popping, what they can put on SoundCloud or what they can put on the radio that they can get quick plays. Okay, it's so crazy now. They had it whittled down to a science. I mean, that's what happens when everything becomes corporate. It becomes very, very, it all just get put in an equation. Once you go corporate, you're now a part of an equation. And the equation is what plus what equals what that's going to get people, jamming his music. And they even do that with the sounds. So they have a certain sound that they engineer because they said, oh, you know what? This is quick. We can pump these out, no problem. And we can just get people, as long as they can flow with these types of stuff, let's get it going. It's the exact same thing. Even when we complain about Hollywood and Disney movies right now, okay? Disney movies, it seems like it's cut and paste and cookie cutter, right? That's because it is. When a lot of these, especially with Marvel, when Marvel went Disney, all right, it became part of the equation. Now, instead of focusing on storylines that actually develops characters and fully fleshes out the plot of the whole scenario. Now it's all just multiverse, meeting up, multiverse, all right? What is it, South Park? Put a chicken in and make it gay, right? That's what we got with Hollywood now. Why? Because they've realized that the stencil cookie cutter Marvel movies they've been putting out there, people are still going to watch it. Maybe not so much now, but when they were doing it, not a whole lot of people had problems with it, right? They were just going there. As long as Marvel was making money, they stuck to the formula, right? So this is what I'm saying. When no one is sitting here complaining, oh my God, there's a conspiracy at Marvel or whatnot. No, just saying, hey, this guy, the CEO, lost the plot over here. He thought he could make a movie, something that requires a storyline, a good storyline, a plot, right? He thought he could make that a stencil and we work with Americans. It doesn't. It just doesn't anymore, right? This is what I mean, okay? And it happens with almost every industry that we see. Once it goes corporate, everything just becomes an equation now. It doesn't matter. The humanity is gone. There's no humanity there. It's just what plus what is going to equal more money. That's it. When you start going down a pathway of conspiracies and whatnot, just start paying attention to who's making money. All right. Oftentimes, it's not the people you think it is.
Is the person doing it because they're a Jew, ethnically, religiously, or the person is just doing it and they happen to be a Jew? These are the things that people should compartmentalize and consider. But I can see how anti-Semitism can go out of the roof, because if you got it in your mind that it's a Jew, and okay, and the Jew is doing this, and the Jew is stealing money, and the Jew is conning people, and the Jews are together on socialism and communism, and it's like, but you that can get out of control, because then everybody will view every Jew like they did in Germany as a bad person, not different.
Is that Jesus or Yeezus tattooed on his arm? Hold up, chat.
Then everybody will view every Jew like they did in Germany as a.
Hold up, it's going too fast. Y'all, am I tripping, or does he have Yeezus tattooed on his arm, bro? Is it Jesus or Yeezus? How you gonna call yourself skeptical? You got Yeezus tattooed on your arm, bro. That's crazy.
Bad person, not differentiating the difference between a Jew who's religious, a Jew who's ethnic, and a person who's bad and just happen to be a Jew. You know, just like black people. All black people are bad. All black people, because you see a bunch of thugs out here acting a fool. It's like, you got to compartmentalize. It's not. It's some of these people are just evil, and
nigga, that's what you do. Nigga. Whoa. Hey, Officer Tatum. Yes, sir. Don't get too ahead of yourself, buddy. Okay, nigga. You do that. You both do that. What are you talking about?
So happen to be black. Just like evil people just so happen to be white, Jewish. Evil people that just so happen to be Christian or Muslim. It's not just because you're a Muslim, you're evil. Because you're a Christian, you're evil. So the compartmentalization of it is, I think, is important, but that's not here nor there. I just wanted to give my feedback about Candice Owens. I think I should have said this at the beginning of the video. I think she's going to be just fine. Candice is a rock star. I kind of think the loss was greater on their part than her part. I mean, I don't know the financials. I don't know what deals they had, but Candice Owens is an up and coming rock star.
Really? I don't know, bro. She's been up and coming for years, and she's still where she's at right now. So much so, why would an up and comer need to be so desperate that she'll give a glossy interview on a global trafficker like Andrew Tate if she wasn't desperate for clout? All these other people, especially the Tucker Carlson's leaving Fox News, talking about, oh my God, these guys are just at the start of careers. No, dude, it isn't what. First of all, we don't even know what the status of X or Twitter is gonna be in the next 5 years. Okay, especially with Elon Musk making all these fucking trying to make all these upgrades he wants to make to the app. It's like, bro, I'm sorry, but Twitter is never gonna be an everything app like you want. Okay, we have other apps for that. Okay, Elon, you're doing too much. All right, the more you add to this, the more you make it unusable. Right, and eventually, we don't even know what the future of X is gonna be down the line. Okay, so we know Tucker Carlson. Yeah, he got the Putin interview, but he was getting clowned by Putin himself. He didn't even know that. Right. So again, it's one of those things where you think they're gonna reach higher highs. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is like the pinnacle, and it's only downhill from here. It's all gonna be downhill from here because again, okay, X.com. That's literally her only other chance. Otherwise, she's going to go back to being on YouTube, right? Like she said earlier, she's going to move her platform back on YouTube, probably call it something else or whatever it is, right? And then, boom, she's going to still doing the same type of content. Only difference is she's not going to be having that backing. But what do we know about her style of content? The biggest views she had up until, before the Israel-Palestine thing or whatnot was the Andrew Tate interview. I hope you guys understand that, right? You can go back to her channel, scroll down all the way down to the Andrew Tate interview, how they got millions and millions of views, right? All right. But all of her other videos, 200,000. Some of them they'll get to 500,000, but not very much. They'll usually hover around 200,000 to 200,000 to 300,000, right? Now that's not bad in terms of views. That's actually doing pretty well, right? But compared to what she did when at the height of the whole shit when she came out, right? She was all over Facebook. She was all over all these different white women. They were promoting her on Fox News all the damn time. Now she's just another woman on the internet, all right? And I have a feeling she's probably gonna go back to that. Why do you think she's over here trying to, build relationships with Fresh and Fit? I mean, what? y'all here on whatever podcast. Y'all here on Fresh and Fit. I mean, I don't care. She seems desperate to me. All right. Just saying. This seems desperate to me. I'm not seeing Ben Shapiro trying to build up clout and go to Fresh and Fit and do an interview or do a collab. That's not happening because Ben Shapiro knows his platform is worth more than associating with the likes of Fresh and Fit. Okay, because they associate with scammers. But Candice Owens, all of a sudden now, she's bringing a huge push. It started with Pearl. Now it's going down and she's trickling into all these other spaces. What does that tell you? She doesn't have the staying strong footing she did in the past, okay? And especially with the controversy she had, even with the Andrew Tate, and people were criticizing her for it. Some of these, she turned a lot of conservative, I'll call them red pillars, but she called a bunch of right-wing conservatives. She turned them off. All right, she turned them off to them because again, they're not a whole lot fond of what's going on with the Andrew Tate situation, including him versus Jordan Peterson. All right, the fact that Andrew Tate decided to start beef with Jordan Peterson. All right, a bunch of people are not going to be cool with that. And if Candice Owens is not on the same wave as Jordan Peterson, they're not on the same wave as her because all these guys, they all love groupthink. They're all group thinkers, all right? They think they're contrarians. They're not contrarians. What do you call it? They think they're original. They think that their thought process is going against the grains, but they don't realize that the ultimate conformist when it comes to ideology, right? These are the guys, both on the far left and the right. We see this. They're the ultimate conformists. So when they're sitting here telling you that other guy's lying, just do what we're doing. Look what they're doing, and you see everybody doing the same thing. And guess what? They're all wrong. This is why we need to bring critical thinking back, so we're not listening to losers like Officer Tatum over here and Candice Owens or Fresh and Fit even. All right, it's just one of those things. But I'm gonna tell you this, chat. That's Candice Owens' future. She's probably gonna be. You're gonna see a lot of it. Listen, chat. I'm gonna be real with you right now. You're gonna see a lot more of Candice Owens in the red pill space. Guaranteed, bro. Guaranteed. Because now she's out on her own. What else do you think she's gonna talk about? You think she's spending time building these red pill poppers audience for nothing? You think she's going around doing the podcast rounds for nothing? No! Y'all got to think smarter than that. She knows for a fact these are the people. They're not going to go shit what she does or says or how stream she goes, but they're going to support her no matter what, like they're doing a Tate. That's why she goes so hard to court them, okay? Because honestly, you could call it genius, but it kind of is. It's the ultimate backup plan. Okay, now you're not getting paid by Daily Wire to do these streams no more. Now it's just, okay, let me get paid by these incels. Watch. Now you're going to start hearing a bunch of men's rights issues. You start hearing a bunch of red pill talking points. You're going to see her reacting to more videos these red pill react to, right? Because guaranteed that's the goal. And she's not moving away from politics. No, I think what she's going to do is probably a little bit is what Pearl tried to do, but she's probably going to be a lot smarter than Pearl. Okay, because she's going to figure out how to not only be the female Andrew Tate like Pearl is right now, but she's also going to be able to keep that tied in with her strong conservative or political talking points, okay? She could probably be the person to successfully bring both of these grifts together, okay? Pearl tried it. She just couldn't do it, right? She went too crazy. Women couldn't vote, right? You lost a lot of people with that, Pearl. I'm sorry. Even though Candice probably agrees with you, you lost a lot of people with that. But Candice Owens is a lot more, she's a lot more devious and she's sharper than Pearl. So she's going to figure out how to bring red pill and conservative politics together. She's the antichrist we've been talking about, chat. We thought it was Pearl, but it might actually be Candice Owens, Joe. Yo, even just thinking about this right now is crazy because I thought maybe Pearl would be successful, right? But she failed at that, especially after being called out by Piers Morgan. That was a wrap, right? Now she's just this backwater, thing that just hangs out and we're just hoping goes away, but doesn't. But guess what she's doing to revive her career? Hanging out with Fresh and Fit again, right? Chat. This is just making too much sense. But again, I think Pearl will be that content creator to successfully merge red pill talking points with conservative politics. And you know what? Maybe I might have to eat my hat a little bit because I went after Brandon a little too harsh. I think Brandon might be right. She might actually find success if she goes that route, which I think she's planning on doing because where else is she going to go? All right, she's already alienated half of the conservatives because people are riding hard for Ben Shapiro too right now. Let's just be real. A lot of conservatives, especially mainstream ones, they're riding hard with Ben Shapiro. And you're starting to even see in the comments of some of these videos. I guarantee you, y'all go watch these videos. You look at the comment section. A lot of them now are criticizing Candice Owens for the interview she had with Andrew Tate. A lot of people are bringing that up in the comment section now. Go to her tweets, it's over there. People are talking shit about her. Go to her YouTube, it's out there. Any of those YouTube videos you see talking about it right now, people, even in this video, they're saying, "Oh, Candice Owens, yeah, I stopped watching her a while ago. After that Andrew Tate thing, I was done." Or people were saying she was on some bullshit and they stopped fucking with her. So what we're seeing now is that the cabal that was created for the independent right on mainstream, or not mainstream, independent media, right? They don't like Candice. So I'm not saying that Candice isn't going to get away with keeping some of her fan base. We're not saying that. She is going to get away with that because there are people still fans of her. But she needs a new, fresh audience to hijack. And I think she's been slowly doing that with the red pill and the incel crowd. It's just going to go that much further. And the fact that her talking points are now getting to the same level as the Nick Fuentes of the world, it's like a match made in heaven at this point. But I'm just speculating right now, okay? But chat, y'all not gonna sit here and deny that most of our speculations haven't come true, because it has, including this one of her getting fired. It came true, right? It's all coming true. So yeah, we might speculate, but the thing is, we have hindsight on our side, okay? We have common sense in hindsight, and we haven't been wrong at all yet. Chat, we have not been wrong all year. Everything we've been saying, okay, has been happening. Matter of fact, even when I told y'all 2023, chat, what I told y'all from 2022, when I was talking about this shit in 2022, I told y'all 2023 was going to be our year of vindication, right? We've already passed that. But what happened in 2023? Everything we said was going to happen in 2022 regarding these bozos, it happened. Everything we said happened. It happened. How many I told these souls have I had to come out on camera and do? I've done a bunch of them now. I can't even count. It's getting too many to count, right? And I don't like saying it. What the fuck am I saying? I do like saying it, okay? I'm sorry. Any of you pill-popping bozos that got proven wrong by me, I love saying it, motherfucker, right? Because y'all was sitting there talking shit about me and my chat for years when we were calling this shit out. All of y'all. And then when we got proven right, where are they, chat? Where are they? We don't see any of them. They were sitting there talking shit about all of us, right? When we said this was going to happen, they said we're lying, we're haters. Now what? Everything we said happened has happened. So don't put this Candice Owens things too far beyond, reason here or hindsight, okay? Those y'all are thinking, you're probably thinking, you know what, Duke? It kind of makes sense, because why else was she? Why is she doing stuff with Fresh and Fit? Why is she even on any of these red pill platforms? I don't see anyone else like in her ilk. We don't even see Brandon Tatum on these platforms. All right. At best, we see them react to red pill content and they make fun of red pillars, but we haven't seen anyone engage and actually talk to them until Candice Owens, who's doing that, right? She's one of the major ones that has been doing that. So y'all, if you think I'm just sitting here talking shit, fine, but we've been proved right. Okay. So it just kind of makes sense to see Candice Owens go that route. I'm done with it. I'm done speculating. All right. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Jenna G with the super chat. Shout out to Jenna G. He says, I don't think Candice Owens can be a pearl simply because she's a black woman. Remember, we're always the target. She can't be elevated. No. Unless you're a black person who says things against black people that conservatives like. Okay? You remember Nick Fuentes was on Pearl's show? Y'all remember that? And who was their what's that person's name? Queen Riches, right? Queen Riches' girlfriend was on the show with Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes says, because she was Italian, Nick Fuentes says the Italian race would be ashamed of her. Why? Because she was dating a black guy like Queen Riches. Now, Queen Riches is he's one of those people that, can't defend himself at all, talking about defending his own woman, but will sit there all day and talk about why women leave men. This is why don't get married ever. Don't get in a relationship ever. That's him. That's Queen Riches. You go to his channel right now. Why black women don't deserve relationship. Why dating sucks. Why it's all about just talking about girls and all this dating shit and whatnot. It's like, we know why it sucks because we watched you not defend your girl in front of a racist. Now you gonna give us dating advice, nigga? Huh? How to be a provider and protector. Nigga, you couldn't protect your girl against one of the worst forms of human beings imaginable, a Nick Fuentes. You couldn't do that, but yet you want to lecture us on relationships. Thank you. Thank you. But no. Here's the thing. Why did Queen Riches stick up for Nick Fuentes? I mean, he didn't stick up for Nick Fuentes, but the fact that he didn't even criticize when Nick Fuentes when it happened, it just spoke volumes. The reason why he did it because he's one of these black folks that talk shit about black folks under Pearl. Okay, this is what it is, bro. So as long as you're toting the agenda, you're toting the line, you're fine. But now that Candace Owens is out on her own, she's already gotten enough fans that love hearing that shit. They love hearing that shit, especially coming from a black woman, because then they can turn out to black people and say, hey, I mean, come on, dude. She's not wrong, right? It's the same thing that white folks do to me here in Wisconsin, right? In Wisconsin, Wisconsin has that subtle type of passive-aggressive racism. So you see that shit a lot. But there's a bunch of Republicans here, right? And one thing I get all the time, right, is where you start talking about, especially me being black, I start talking about conservative politics. The first name out of any one of their damn mouths. Oh, have you listened? Have you read Thomas Sowell's books? Have you listened to Thomas Sowell? You would really like Thomas Sowell. It's like, oh my God, bro. And next person tell me to read a Thomas. Hey, Thomas Sowell needs a haircut. That's what he needs to get him a fade. That's what the hell he needs, okay? Instead of sitting here talking about what the fuck he's talking about. That's what Thomas. I don't fucking listen to Thomas Sowell, okay? He's one of these other peddlers, okay? That's what he is. All right, he peddles race to sell his books. That's it, all right? But that's the one thing I get. It's like, what is he, the only educated black man y'all know? But every white conservative here in Wisconsin, as soon as you get into conservative politics, oh my goodness, wow, yeah, you should. Have you heard of Thomas Sowell? Yeah, I've heard of him. I think he's a tard. I'm sorry, right? Hey, listen, eloquent as all hell, speaks good. He's just ignorant on certain things, okay? Not a total dumbass, just ignorant on certain things. Just saying, okay? But again, I digress, okay? But it's one of those things. It's just that stereotype type of energy. I just don't get it. I don't like it. Again, people like Thomas Sowell, they're always going to succeed. Why? It's because he's a black man doing what white conservatives love, criticizing heavily black culture. Now, his criticisms, I would say, are a lot more tamed compared to Candace Owens, okay? But it's still the same thing. You got a black face pointing fingers at black folks, like conservatives love it, right? So it doesn't matter if, I think she'll be better than a Pearl. I think she'll be a way better Pearl than a Pearl herself, okay? Because she's eloquent, she's a spitfire, she's articulate, she's fast, she's everything that these white conservatives need, especially the ones that really love how hard she goes against black folks. And, now it seems like she's doing the same thing to Jews, right? They're going to stick with her no matter what. So she will be a Pearl. It's just probably a lot better, right? You know how people are still sticking to Pearl and they're buying her t-shirts of like women shouldn't vote, right? Those people are hardcore fans. The rational ones left a long time ago. They're gone. You never see them again. They're gone. All right. Matter of fact, some of those people are watching channels that make fun of Pearl. That's the new game now. You ever notice that any videos that come out talking shit about Pearl makes way more views than videos Pearl put out? Y'all notice that? It's because the audience that used to follow Pearl, they're gone. They don't care about her anymore. They think she's in tard. They're out of the equation. But Candace Owens, it's a little bit more difficult because she's an idiot, yes, but she knows how to hide it well. Because she speaks clearly. Okay, she's a spitfire, meaning she's very aggressive, like a pit bull. She'll go after you. She doesn't stop. Okay, she's very aggressive. It's all the qualities they like, and she's black, so boop, right up at the top. She's gonna be that. If she even, I'm gonna tell you this. The more she starts hanging out with a lot of these red pill poppers, and the more they start making YouTube shorts about the crap she does, the more they're gonna fall in love with her, and the more that type of content you're probably gonna see. That's my prediction. All right, we've already seen a little bit of that because you can start to see her invade a lot of the pill popping spaces. All right, but now it's gonna be a lot more aggressive since she's no longer tied to the Daily Wire. Who knows? The Daily Wire could have been keeping her on a leash, saying, hey, maybe you should ease up on, going on to whatever podcast. Maybe you should relax on that. Or maybe you should ease up on going on Fresh and Fit. How about we don't do that again? Because one of the hosts was literally seen with a KKK mask on, and now you out here doing this anti-Semite shit. It just doesn't work. Okay, maybe she might have been getting warnings to stay away from these platforms, but it wasn't until the tail end. All of a sudden, now she's a red pillar. Now she's out here lecturing OnlyFans girls on, morality and, how to be traditional women. Oh my God, bro. Listen, taking advice from Candace Owens on how to be a traditional wife is like taking advice from Pearl on how to get married. They're both not that. They're both not it, bro. Candace ain't a traditional woman, and Pearl still can't find her a husband, even though her daddy's willing to pay anybody. Hey, brothers, her daddy giving out 40 acres and a mule, but he couldn't find a mule, so Pearl would just have to do. So if you want that land of yours, you got to marry Pearl. Hey, she's still looking for suitors, by the way. So any of y'all brothers out here, maybe because we know what kind of men she's into. All right, she likes them brothers. Y'all know that, right? So any other brothers out here, you're not doing so well in life, or maybe you're looking for that boo thing that you can snug up under, right? Pearl is actively looking for a husband right now. So her dad is giving out 40 acres. It wasn't 40 acres. I'm lying. It was 9 acres. He ain't got 40 acres. We got 9 acres, and you can have Pearl. So I can't believe that shit, bro. I'm done. I can't do this. I can't believe that was an actual thing, bro. I can't believe that. Listen, nah, bro. Listen, in most cultures, the person marrying the woman has to pay the dowry. I've never seen a situation where the soon-to-be fiance has to pay a dowry to the nigga who has to marry her. I mean, that doesn't mean she's bad. She's just bad all around. Like, I've never seen that shit before. Listen, in my country, all right, Igbo people, we got bride prices, right? So in order for you to get married to an Igbo girl, okay, you got to come up with some money. All right, you got to come up with some money, possibly some land, some shit, right? Because you're marrying the woman. I've never seen it the other way around. Even in this country, it's still weird to me, right? I've never seen it the other way around. A dad so desperate to marry off his daughter, he's giving away land, bro. That shit. Hey, listen. Hey, whoever can speak for the black delegation, if y'all want to send a husband over to Pearl, I'm sure it'd be greatly appreciated. That woman is getting desperate, and I'm damn. I don't even want to say it, bro, but that's desperate. That's pretty desperate. All right, but she out here, she has the stuff to teach women out there on how to get married. This whole world is just fucked up. Chad, yo, Chad, shout out to you for being here. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all could be anywhere in the world right now, but you spend the time with dukendon. That means a lot to me. I know it's not a long stream. All right, it's a short one because it's Candace Owens. What the fuck, right? It is what it is, bro. But like, again, shout out to you guys for being here. But we got to go leave it to our 1 and 2 army, okay? Our 1 and 2 army, y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about the situation, okay? What do you think Candace Owens is gonna go next? Are you guys thinking more along the lines of, yeah, you're gonna see her doing a lot more red pill grifting? Put a 1 in the chat, all right? Or if you think 2, Duke, wait a minute. No, Candace Owens is going to be fine. She's not grifting into anything, okay? She's going to be fine on Twitter, probably doing something else. I don't know, right? Yeah, she is going to be on Twitter. No one's denying that, right? But what type of content is she going to be talking about, right? And if you think she's still going to be doing the same old, listen, just look at the Ukraine and Russia conflict. All of a sudden, she was talking about that. All of a sudden, now she's not doing that. It's the same thing that's going to happen with the Israel-Palestine situation. Once it stops being, the thing to talk about and something else comes over, then guess what? Whoop, she's done. Now she wants to go talk about something else, right? And what is the easiest scapegoat that a lot of people talk about, especially these people out here? Red pill. It's a red pill. It's the easy scapegoat. This is the shit when we did that Rolo episode. This is the crap Rolo was talking about, right? Now, Rolo has no grounds to complain about this, but he is right. A lot of these conservative guys are becoming red pill grifters, especially in the 2024 election year. Oh, my goodness. It's what's going to happen. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. If you think it's a 1 that you're going to see a lot more red pill grifting from Pearl, let me know in the chat. If you think it's a 2, no, she's probably going to stick with the Israel-Palestine thing for as long as we can foresee it, okay? Put a 2 in the chat. I don't think it's a 2. I mean, I don't think she cares that much about the situation to keep talking about it, because this Israel-Palestine thing is not new. It's been happening for years now. Even when Candice Owens was around, it's been happening, okay? Where they would fly rockets over and Israel does something. It's always been a back and forth between those two countries. They need to get that shit together, because it's not something that's new. But did Candice talk about it before then? No. Did she talk about it after? No. Only when this new thing happened is when she's all of a sudden finding her new spirit, all right? Just like a lot of these other content creators that are popping up out of the woodwork. She's like, you sure you're not doing this for views? Because it seems like it's a view thing to me. But hey, it just tells you, chat, clout is one hell of a drug, and its biggest users are a bunch of these influencers. So shout out to you. I appreciate y'all being here, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.